Hi everybody, it's Keith Wheeler with KWheelerBooks.com and the Review Mates Facebook group. Recently I've been asked to talk about how to market your books. And before I got into how to market it, I wanted to kind of step back a moment and talk about 10 questions that you should ask yourself about your books before you actually start your marketing. A lot of these questions can be asked actually while you're still in the writing phase, but if you've already written your book, that's okay. You can still answer these questions, and a lot of them will actually help point you in the right direction of how to market and how to market appropriately. So with that, let's get started. So first, let me start off by explaining the difference between marketing and sales. A lot of people seem to intertwine them and think that marketing your books is the same thing as getting sales. And marketing and sales are two completely different things. For sales is the exchange of money for goods and services, while marketing is simply the communicating of ideas. So the thought behind marketing is we get our book out there, we market it, we spread the word, and the more people you familiarize with your book, then by playing the law of averages, you will in turn get more sales. So that's the big difference between sales and marketing. So when you go into marketing, don't go into marketing thinking about sales. Your mindset has to be getting your book out there, getting your name out there, and trying to get a hold of as many people as possible. So that's the big difference between the two right there. So now, as far as the questions I have, is the very first question you should ask yourself is, who are your books for? What is your target audience? What's their age group? Is it for preschool children? Is it for teenagers? Is it for adults? Is there a specific gender that it's for? Is it more aimed towards boys or girls? Maybe it's a mixture. It doesn't matter, but you need to know what it is for your particular book. And what this does is this will help you while you're still writing. This will help you in your character building, because you want your character, especially if you're writing a fiction book, you want your character to be relatable to your target audience. So obviously, if you're writing a book aimed towards 10 to 12-year-old boys, your main character should not be a little girl or a teenage girl. Your target audience will not connect with your characters as well as you want them to. Also, by knowing your target audience, it helps you in gearing your promotional copy. So that's why that one is extremely important. Now, when I tell you these questions and I say to answer them, don't just answer them to yourself. Actually physically write them down, because these are questions that you're going to want answers to that, like I said, will help you when you're doing your promotions and your marketing. Question number 2 is, how many of your target audience are there? And what I mean by that is it a large group? Like, is it just teenage boys? Or is it more of a niche market? If you're writing, especially if you're writing like a nonfiction book, and it's aimed towards people in the real estate area, obviously that's going to be a much smaller market, and you need to know that, because what that does is that will help you, first of all, it'll help you set realistic sales goals. Obviously you're not going to sell 1 million copies if you have a small group as your target audience. But also it will help you potentially with pricing of your book. If you're in more of a niche market, especially if it's a nonfiction book and it's in, like I said, real estate or something like that, your target audience may be willing to pay more. So again, knowing your target audience and knowing how big your target audience is And I'm not talking about exact numbers. Just if it's going to be large or if it's going to be more of a niche market. These are important questions. Question number 3: who will buy your book? And that may sound like it's the same thing as your target audience, but it's not. Sometimes it is. But, for example, if you're writing a children's book, chances are a child's not going to buy your book. Their parent or grandparent or teacher or somebody else, an adult, will buy the book for them. That's important to know. Because when you write your promotional copy, you're not going to aim it towards your target audience. You're going to aim it towards the person actually buying the book. Now, as far as who your target audience is, you will refer to them in your copy, but your copy is actually going to be geared towards the people actually buying your book. So if you're doing maybe a textbook type thing for college age students, your target audience will be college students, but the people buying it may be the colleges themselves, the professors, the parents, or the student. Again, very important information that you need to be aware of. And again, don't just think about it, write it down. And again, it'll also help you determine potential pricing as well. Question number 4: what does your book offer? What makes it different? What makes your book stand out from your competition? This is probably one of the biggest questions that you want to ask yourself, because what this will do is this will help you point out the key elements in your press release, in your description, in your for your book on your Amazon page, and basically any type of description you do for your book. You want to point out what makes your book different. Question number 5: are there any other books like your book? Obviously, your book's going to be a little different. That's the whole key, is to make yours stand out. But who's your biggest competitor? What book or books are your biggest competitors? What you can do is, this helps you research your competing book. What you can do is you go into the reviews for your competitors and you look at what people are saying about it. If they're getting 5-star reviews, look and see what people love about it. Make sure you add that into your book. More importantly, you look at the 1 and 2-star reviews. What are they missing? What are they doing wrong? That's amazingly important information, because you can now take that and do it right in your book. Again, making your book a step above your competition. Question number 6: how will your target audience read this? How will they read your book? Are they probably more geared towards paperback? Are they geared towards ebooks? If you're writing for adults, maybe audiobook, especially if they're commuting. Audiobooks are getting extremely in more and more demand, especially with commutes getting longer and longer. So again, this will help you decide what types of platforms you're going to put your book into. If you know that your target audience is mainly going to be commuters, you definitely want to be in audiobook. Now, the next question, number 7: where will they buy it? Your target audience, where are they geared towards buying? Are they the type of person that's going to go into a bookstore? Are they going to go, or are they more like someone that's going to go to a craft store or craft shows, trade shows, that kind of thing? If you're in a niche market, are there different, if you're doing softball themed books, they would want to buy them at tournaments and stuff like that. Sports stores. These are the kinds of things, again, tells you where your book is where your target audience will be looking for your book. And if they're there and your book is there, there's a much better chance that they will buy it. Now, question number 8. Big question. How much are they willing to spend? Now you may say, I have no idea how much people are going to spend on a book. Yeah, you do. Look at your competition. How much are they charging? If they're charging $7.99 for a book, you probably don't want to put yours up there for $10.99. But if they're paying $7.99 for a book, you certainly don't want to put it down there for $4.99 either. Because if you put it too drastically lower than your competition, then subconsciously people will look at it as if it's an inferior book. So you want to make sure that your book is priced similarly to its competition. Maybe a little more expensive, a little cheaper, especially early on, probably cheaper, just to kind of get that, that starting momentum. But again, you need to know what kind of pricing your competition has, so you know what your potential audience is used to and expecting. How much you'll spend, like I said, that will definitely help you in determining the price. Number 9, when will they buy it? Is this a type of book that they will buy only around the holidays? Why is that important? That's extremely important because that will help you gear when to host your promotions, when to do ads. If your book is more of a Christmas type book, then you certainly don't want to spend money doing ads in the middle of the summer. It's a waste of your time and a waste of your money. You would aim it towards October, November type timeline. So again, where they will buy it is important, and when they will buy it is important. It'll also help you in deciding if you want to do guest appearances. Do guest appearances, or and I'll cover this in the next video as far as what type of marketing to do. But all of that is geared around when they are most likely going to buy your book. Now, if your book is just a general type book and people can buy it all the time for holidays or for birthdays or what have you, then you want to stretch that out. You want to stretch out your advertising and appearances and stuff like that throughout the year without overwhelming yourself. And I'll cover that in the next video as well. And the final question is, why did you write the book? What do you hope to accomplish with this book? Why is that an important question? Because this helps you stay, one, if you're still writing, it helps you stay on target and focused while you're writing. By you remembering, keeping in the front of your mind what the purpose of this book is. It keeps you from straying off to some tangents in your book that aren't necessary. But it also helps you, it's very easy to get down in this industry. And so remembering why you're writing the book is extremely important in keeping you motivated. Also, it helps you with wording, again, the book description, your ad copy, your promotional copy. You want to make sure, and your author bio, you want to make sure people know you want them to get to know you. People are very emotional creatures, and so there's a much better chance that they're going to buy your book if they connect with you, if they feel like you're not just some person off the street. They feel like they know you. There's some kind of camaraderie that they have with you, even though they've never met you. So by explaining why you wrote the book is extremely important. Again, what motivated you to write it? What are you trying to achieve? Did somebody inspire you to write it? All of this is great information that your potential readers, your target audience, and your potential buyers all really want to know. So those are the questions that you should ask yourself, again, write them down. I suggest, especially with these, in the next video when I cover marketing and promotions and stuff like that, you probably want to get yourself a notebook. I mean, I know some people use Excel, and I'm a huge Excel fan. But when it comes to writing, for some reason, I just love to physically write things down. I mean, my manuscripts are all typed, but when it comes to questions like this, when it comes to what my plans are for promotions and stuff like that, I have a tendency to just write it all physically down. So those are the 10 questions. If you have any questions for me, feel free to put them in the comments down below. If you liked this video and you like our other videos, make sure you give me the thumbs up to help support the page. Also, make sure you hit that subscription icon and the little bell so you get alerted when new videos come out. Also, feel free to visit us at the Review Mates Facebook group. Love to have you there. Or you can email me at kwheelerbooks@gmail.com. Until next time, remember to write right.